This is He Knows the Sport, bringing you that heat and that fire. We keeping the foot on the what? On the next. We keeping the foot on the what? On the next. Now let's talk about it, man. Adrien Broner and Regis Progress. To be honest with you guys, when I look at that fight, that's actually a good fight for boxing. Let me explain why. ROUGAROU is basically what I would call the same variation of a Sean Porter, but a little cleaner version. Because he's not the best in terms of boxing ability, but you know you're going to get that strong physicality from him. That's what you're going to get from him. The reason why I liken that fight to a Sean Porter type of fight is because that's exactly what that fight is going to be. But ROUGAROU is not as aggressive as a Sean Porter. He's more technical than Sean Porter, but not that much more technical than a Sean Porter, if that makes sense. He can be able to do some things to disrupt Adrien Broner. Adrien Broner has all of the talent in the world. The problem with AB, when he says, I'll fuck him up, AB been saying he'll fuck up everybody all day and every day. This is not going to be a video to tear down Adrien Broner. We don't tear down Adrien Broner over here. This is going to be a video to hold Adrien Broner accountable and roll his ass out on the red carpet. Adrien Broner is a fighter that wasted his talent. I was the biggest AB fan ever, dog. And I understood what he brought to the table. I like the proverbial swag. You guys could tell I like swag, folks, because I'm a swaggy dude, dog. Let me say it again. I like folks that swag that shit out. I like swag, folks, because I'm a swaggy dude. I like wordplay because I'm a wordplay cat. I like cats that have that confidence, that bravado, and that ability to just basically showcase themselves from a verbal standpoint. I understand that world because that's how I am. This is why people gravitate to He Knows the Sport. They love the wittiness of the videos. They love the comedy of the videos. They love the wordplay of the videos. They love everything about how He Knows the Sport is able to articulate himself from a high intellectual level, but then also break it down to layman's terms at the same time. You don't find that unique combination anywhere else but He Knows the Sport, bringing you that what? That heat and that fire. And keeping the foot on the what? On the next. And keeping the foot on the what? On the next. Listen, folks, you have to look at the totality of how this fight is going to play out. ROUGAROU is a fighter that's going to bring it. He's physical, but ROUGAROU has chinks in the armor. And case in point, his last fight was a revelation of that. That fight against Josh Taylor. He showcased that he has moments where he has mental lapses in fights. He showcases he has moments where he doesn't carpe diem. The word carpe diem is an Italian root word. It's a Latin root word for seizing the moment or seizing the opportunity. Let me say it again. He doesn't carpe diem. This is a terminology that Kobe Bryant used to the highest form and the highest variation, the highest staple. That's actually his terminology. It's Italian or Latin for it's not seizing the seizing the moment or seizing the opportunity. And this is the problem with Adrien Broner. He does not seize the moment. That's also the problem with ROUGAROU. He showcased that in the last Josh Taylor fight. When he stepped up to high-level competition, he did not seize the moment. But here's the thing. Josh Taylor has one of those types of fights where he did not seize the moment in the Josh Taylor fight. That's what ROUGAROU has. Whereas Adrien Broner has multiple fights. So if I'm looking at the law of attrition here, and I'm looking at the totality of who is more mentally worn down, then at this point, it's Adrien Broner. So if I have to pick a winner, which we do as men and women of confidence, fortitude, and an abundance mindset, right? We don't do no 50-50 over here. Anybody that's been watching this platform, we pick, we lay on a position, we grab our cojones, or we grab our cake. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking to the females. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And we double down on that bad boy with confidence and fortitude, and we lay on a damn position. I'm picking ROUGAROU for the fight because ROUGAROU is not as worn out. ROUGAROU had one loss to Adrien Broner's multiple losses. And ROUGAROU, at this point, there's less of a blueprint to beat him as opposed to Adrien Broner. So at this point, ROUGAROU is speaking from a position of strength as it pertains to both of their fights. Now, stylistically, Adrien Broner can do some things to disrupt a ROUGAROU because Adrien Broner has the hand speed advantage. Adrien Broner also has the slickness advantage. Adrien Broner has the ability to move around the ring advantage over ROUGAROU. But here's the problem with Adrien Broner. He does not know how to operate on the back foot. Adrien Broner is flat-footed and he has too wide of a stance. And his stance that's being too wide, it clouds him. it doesn't allow him the ability to move freely and to move seamlessly across the ring. Let me say it again. His wide stance does not allow him to move freely and seamlessly across the ring, and that hinders him. That's what exposed him in the Marcos Maidana fight. That's what exposed him in the Manny Pacquiao fight. That's what exposed him in the Sean Porter fight. That wide ass stance. When you're fighting fighters that are active like that, fighters that come with that front forward aggression style that way, you have to be a good back foot fighter. You have to be good on your back foot. You have to be on your fucking toes. You have to know how to roll on the ball, the pivot of your damn foot. You don't need to be a Floyd Mayweather-esque level with that, but you got to be able to know how to do it from a slickster standpoint. And that's the issue that Adrien Broner lacks. It's not that Adrien Broner doesn't have the ability. He just never took the time out to discipline himself to own the ability. Let me say it again. It's not that Adrien Broner does not have the ability. He didn't take the time out and the discipline to own the ability. And that's the issue that Adrien Broner has. And then Adrien Broner has a huge mental lapse that when things are not going his way in the fight, he just gives up. He mentally gives up. Whereas ROUGAROU, on the other hand, ROUGAROU could keep going. Even if ROUGAROU is not winning a fight, which he showcased in that Josh Taylor fight, he will go all the way through. Now, let me explain when I say Adrien Broner gives up. Adrien Broner will finish a fight. He did that with the Marcos Maidana fight. He did that with the Sean Porter fight. But he's checked out mentally because now he's just fighting to basically say that I'm there with you. This is how Adrien Broner fights when he knows that he can't win a fight, when his confidence is completely waned. He's just basically staying there just to say that I'm there with you. That doesn't get the job done, and that's why he has the L's that he's accumulated in his boxing career. This is why he even had a hard, arduous fight with Adrian Granados, a guy that Adrien Broner should have boxed up efficiently and cleanly and seamlessly. When you got Danny Garcia knocking out Adrian Granados the way he did, Adrien Broner should have finished his ass. Because Adrien Broner is just a more slick fighter than a Danny Garcia. But it is what it is. I'm not going to go back and touch up on that. I just wanted to give you guys a quick snippet of that. ROUGAROU, on the other hand, ROUGAROU is still trying to fight. The problem with ROUGAROU is ROUGAROU doesn't have enough tools in the tool yard mentally, not physically, mentally, to figure out how to get to that next gear and to make that adjustment. See, with him, it's more of an adjustment thing. That's why he had an issue in the Josh Taylor fight. He didn't know how to make the next adjustment in order for him to win the fight. Because there were still moments in that fight, in the second half of that fight, where he was hurting Josh Taylor. And if he would have made just some quick adjustments, he would have turned out and won that fight. But if I have to pick, I'm going to pick the fact that at this stage, ROUGAROU has less chinks in the armor than Adrien Broner. So if they both step into the ring, especially with the fact that Adrien Broner has not fought nobody at any time, and in boxing, the longer you are removed from the ring, the more rust you have, and the more your tools are not as sharp, I'm picking ROUGAROU to win that damn fight. So that's the pick that I'm landing with, and I'm picking ROUGAROU to win that fight in a close fight of them going back and forth. It's not going to be a knockout. It's probably going to be a decision type of fight. See, I'm giving you guys the prediction. I'm giving you guys the assessment. I'm giving you guys the overall lining of how this fight is going to play out. No one's knocking nobody out because Adrien Broner has proven that he has a chin. ROUGAROU's proven that he's a chin. But ROUGAROU's going to basically inflict more punishment and more damage than Adrien Broner because of the fact that Adrien Broner's stance is too wide. Adrien Broner's flat-footed, and Adrien Broner is stuck in his deficient tendency ways. So this is why ROUGAROU will win that fight. And it's not to say ROUGAROU's perfect in of himself, but ROUGAROU has less deficiencies. And because he has less deficiencies, he is the proverbial candidate that he knows the sport is going to get behind. That's my take of it. They could keep running their fucking mouths, but how about they just go ahead and sign a damn contract and let's see who's going to be the best man, who's going to win the fight. This is He Knows the Sport. Checking out.